When man first noticed a bird take wing, he started trying to solve the mystery of flight. He tried some weird-looking contraptions. Some had wings that flapped. Others had propellers at the rear instead of in front, where propellers along. And some even had what appeared to be the tail in front, which resulted in the illusion that the plane was flying backwards. This was the configuration of the aircraft the Wright brothers first flew successfully, just over 84 years ago. I'm here today at the Cedar Glade Aerodrome in the Big Springs community near Murfreesboro. There's a group of pilots here who fly kind of a unique airplane. It's a relatively new airplane, the ultralight. But what really makes it special to these people is the same thing that made it special to the Wright brothers. The pilots here build their own planes too. These planes may look like model airplanes, and in a sense they are. They are overgrown models, capable of carrying people aloft. They were built from kits manufactured by Team Incorporated, Bradyville, Tennessee. Kits were built in a small shop, which now turns out kits for shipment all over the world. If you want one, it'll come in its entirety, packed in 2 wooden boxes. Wayne Ison is the designer of Team's aircraft. He built his first plane when he was 3 years old, and he's been building others ever since.
My dad was a carpenter, and he was up on a roof building some parts of the roof, and he was throwing down pieces he cut off. And I remember I found a wedge-shaped piece of wood and another stick, and that was an airplane to me. And it was similar to this, and I tried to put a nail in there, and I guess after I cried long enough, he came down off the roof and helped me nail that in there, and that was my first airplane. That was in 1927.
Been building them ever since, huh?
And to a degree, been building ever since. Mostly models, but in later years, the models grew up.
You got any more designs you come out with?
Oh, you always have more designs, sure. It's getting time to work on them. It takes, a couple of years from the time that you get a design until you built one and tried it and tested it and done the stress analysis. Really, designing an airplane is not the main problem. It's a stress analysis and getting the flight characteristics down good that takes more time than just drawing up an airplane and building it. That's the small part.
Every aspiring pilot begins at an early age dreaming of building an airplane and then experiencing the thrill of flying it. These people have made that dream come true. And just watching them and their airplanes is much like watching a child with a favorite toy. Eric Clutton, a British transplant and the pilot of our camera plane, knows how much fun it is to fly. He's been doing it for years.
Flying, particularly flying small airplanes, is just about the most fun you can have with your clothes on.
Well, I've never heard it quite put that way, but something to think about. Jim Colley, a former Navy carrier pilot and now Team's test pilot, knows the thrill also. There are 2 planes that stand out in his memory as fun to fly.
The 2 most fun airplanes I've flown were the Grumman Cougar jet that I flew in the training command because it was nice and simple. It was a 1950s vintage jet. And this. They're very similar. They're both very simple. They both have a stick and throttle. Both very maneuverable, both very strong, and both a heck of a lot of fun.
Jim, explain just exactly how the stick and the rudder works on an airplane.
Okay, this is a very conventional 3-axis airplane. It has 3-axis control. The stick controls the aileron and the elevator. The elevator, if I pull back on the stick, the elevator deflects upwards like so, forcing the tail down and the nose up. So that's what you want to do if you pitch the nose up. Push forward, and the opposite happens. If I deflect the stick to the left aileron comes up, and the right aileron goes down, causing the plane to roll to the left, and the opposite in the other direction. The rudder pedals control the rudder. Back there, if I push the right rudder pedal, the rudder deflects to the right, causing the airplane to yaw to the right, and if I push it to the left, it yaws to the left.
Well, what instruments does this plane carry?
Okay, the basic flight instruments this aircraft has are those that are required for basic VFR flight. It has an airspeed indicator, altimeter, and a magnetic compass. which is essentially all you need for basic VFR sport flying.
When you mentioned the airspeed indicator, what is the airspeed, cruising speed of this aircraft in
This
flight?
one will cruise about 65 to 70 miles per hour.
How about showing us what one will do?
I'll be glad to. Let's go to it.
Any pilot would. Jim makes it seem so simple as he takes the plane through its paces. It's almost like they're one, thinking free, flying free. Any pilot knows the ultimate freedom comes only in the air. There's a special relationship between a man and his airplane. It's much more than just a man and just a machine.
They say, you know, mechanical things have no soul, but I can assure you that that airplane has.
All airplanes do.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm married to Fred, my airplane. Yeah. What I'm looking for now is a willow with a wee cart and their own airfield. So, you know, that would really make it happen.
Then you'd be there, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm not just about Cappy Dog.